As an American, I eat apple pie. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot.
Hi, well, good evening, everyone. At least now my audio is working. I don't know why it's connecting right away. Craziness going on in the world as we look around and see what's happening. Every time we turn around, it's just more garbage and BS and corruption in the United States, and it just goes deeper and deeper. Now we got McCarthy even acting like an idiot. It's a joke, really. It's- My audio should be working now. It wasn't at first. It's crazy. I mean, what's going on in Ukraine? Ukraine saying it's stalled Russian forces as it advances in the south. I mean, you get information from both sides saying two different things. We're seeing the front lines really haven't moved at all, and then we're seeing now in Ukraine, of course, breaking red lines for nuclear war, knowing and knowing that violates what they said they would not do. You know, with the weapons we supplied, is strike Russia directly or cause bigger problems. Now Russia's calling us directly problems with us, and Russia's having its own problems with its own mercenary force. But Kiev, of course, ordering this bridge to be struck. near Crimea with missiles, long-range missiles that, of course, came from Europe. Now we're sending longer-range missiles. The Storm Shadow missiles, of course, supplied by the UK. Ukrainian authorities usually refrain from commenting on the specific attacks, didn't directly claim responsibility for the strike. But we know it was them. I mean, nobody else has Storm Shadow missiles. And of course, trying to derail Russia's logistics and what they're doing. I mean, I understand having to destroy the enemy's plans and destroying the enemy's capability of standing up against Ukraine. The U.S., though, has no current power to do this. If all this is so true and Ukraine's doing so good in this counteroffensive, then why do we see Berlin spending $8 billion in euros? 8 billion euros in a package for 60 Chinook helicopters. It's crazy. Watching more and more of these European countries stockpiling weapons. As we know why they're doing it, because it's obvious. Anybody that looks around and sees what's happening. Oh, yeah, buying a state dinner is just ridiculous. But we'll get to that in a minute. Watching this war unfold is beyond ridiculous. NATO, of course, is just using this as an exercise to get into the war. But both the U.S. and NATO now stating, oh, Ukraine can do whatever it wants with the weapons we send. Well, we're going to send F-16s, longer-range missiles next. Putin has already issued a hard line on those. And the Putin supporters and Russia are already calling to hit the button to release nuclear weapons upon Ukraine. It's no surprise. We know Russia's been talking about it all along, but it's just going to get worse. As we turn around, we see this day in and day out, everything causing problems. If that's a strong no for Teresa, I would not go to the UK. And then we got idiots here in the U.S. Let's talk about Hunter Biden, of course, getting away with everything because they let his bigger crimes, the window to charge him with them, they let that elapse before, actually charging him with anything. The tax charges, he gets a slap on the wrist as he makes an appearance at the White House state dinner. It's ridiculous. Hunter Biden obviously getting away with everything, just days after agreeing to plead guilty to tax-related misdemeanor. Of course, Hunter Biden attending a White House state dinner, hosted, of course, for India's prime minister. Wonder what he's getting out of that deal on the backside. Because we know there's something going on, because you can see Hunter Biden going around shaking hands and smiling as he made his way around the room. This is ridiculous. Declining to even answer questions from ABC News, much less any conservative news channel. It is ridiculous. We see him traveling on, of course, Air Force One now. He was traveling with then Vice President Biden to all these foreign countries. But now he's traveling with his father as the President of the United States, and he's talking about these deals because we have, of course, phone conversations or text messages that show him talking to Chinese officials, telling them, my father's sitting right beside me. What's going on with the money? You'll regret it if you don't. I mean, this is a joke. Nothing's being done. No looking into the charges of bribery or corruption, charges going into Hunter Biden, none of that. Of course, House representatives that tried to get Biden impeached, just tried to start impeachment. McCarthy's a freaking joke because, of course, he pushed off the Biden impeachment. He's the one that pushed it to a committee, let's be honest. And people should be eager to impeach President Biden, Joe Biden. I mean, it's not just hard right Republicans at this point that are forcing a vote. But McCarthy, of course, is the one that is pushing and pushed to go into a congressional committee instead of actually just having a vote directly for impeachment. I mean, this should have been an easy pass for impeachment, and it should have went on to the Senate. This is a total slack job done by McCarthy. Total slack job. And it's ridiculous because high crimes against the U.S. Constitution, which are occurring on the U.S. border with Mexico, by not enforcing immigration law and by stifling the government's ability, or the people in charge of doing that, ability to actually enforce it, by allowing them to go free because referendums that he's writing or stuff he's passing that's actually against the law. I mean, a committee is ridiculous at this point. We see the southern border. We see the problem. There should be no obligations to send it to committee. None. The House should be taking historical action and should be doing exactly what they were made to do and impeach the sitting president. He should be impeached, not just for that, impeached for treason. Dave, there's a whole bunch more to talk about. Russian military is not the ones attacking Moscow right now. It's very confusing. The 3 drones that were shot into Moscow were Ukrainian drones that we provided, the Switchblades, if you guys don't know what those are. There is infighting in Russia, but there is no actual fighting like that. There's infighting with words. The people pulling off the front line. But we're talking right now, this is ridiculous. The House should impeach Biden. Just for the southern border. Much less everything else he's done. Every time we turn around, it's something else. I mean, favors done for his son, favors done for China, favors done for Russia for money, favors done for Ukraine for money. I mean, pulling the prosecutor out of Burisma. Biden did that. That's not a question. He got paid to do it. And it's just ridiculous. It is tyranny at the worst. And we're watching it happen again and again and again. Yeah, the U.S. government is blaming the enemy, things they're doing. Just like blaming China for the Wuhan for the COVID outbreak. I know they say that it did happen, it didn't happen. We funded that lab either way. We funded the lab. China didn't have the money to fund it themselves. We did. We paid for that research. Gain of function, whether it happened in China, Ukraine, or here on U.S. soil. We were doing gain of function research knowing we weren't allowed to do it. There are some Russian soldiers that are against Putin right now. And not against Putin, against top generals within the military. They're not soldiers. They are mercenaries that work for the Wagner Group. It's a whole other issue. Let's keep it on track with Biden right now because this is crazy. This is crazy. It's happening in the U.S., though, Teresa. That's what people don't understand. Gain of function on COVID is still happening in the United States. On military bases with special labs to create vaccines supposedly for super viruses that could happen in the future. It's already happening. And it's ridiculous. The U.S. shouldn't be in the middle of this. And we are. We got Biden, that most corrupt president ever. And then we got Speaker McCarthy defending him. I mean, Speaker McCarthy does support expunging Trump's impeachments over Ukraine on January 6th, but he should. Ukraine, we know, was real. Donald Trump was asking the right questions, but nobody wanted to look into it then. Nobody wanted to look into what Donald Trump was questioning Ukraine about and Burisma about what was happening. Instead, they let the Democrats run through an impeachment in the House and send it to the Senate. Now McCarthy wants to stop an impeachment on Biden and send it to a committee? Come on. And it's funny, I'm not going to say it's funny. It is a tragedy what happened with this submersible. But it happened to come out at the same time that the messages from the WhatsApp app came out that Hunter Biden was sitting with Joe Biden. All we're hearing in the media right now is the submarine that imploded with carrying rich people. That's what we're hearing about. We're not hearing about the text messages that should be all over the news that show Hunter Biden was sitting next to his father while he was basically blackmailing a Chinese official. The corruption in this country and the corruption with everything that's going on with the world is ridiculous. People need to stop listening to mainstream media because all this is a cover-up. This Titan sub, I hate to say it. Yes, people lost their lives, whatever. Okay, it happened. But why is that the top news story? When so much is coming out that shows deep corruption within the United States government, and nobody's doing anything about it. Literally turning a blind eye. U.S., of course, wants to sanction and push more sanctions on Russia and China. For us having, I think it's like 400 or 650 military bases around the world, it's something ridiculous. I don't know exactly. I think it might be 250. I don't know, 350. Something ridiculous. Around the world. But yet we have the power to tell anybody else what to do and how to act. It's ridiculous. It is beyond a problem. It is beyond a problem when the U.S. is forcing countries for 750 military bases overseas. 750 military bases overseas. And that's a question because we know they had guaranteed that amount, but it's looking like we might have up to 80 or 800 military bases around the world. That's not including the bases that are in the UK and the US. That's 145 more. Yeah. JP Morgan, though, canceled his trip on that sub. Oh, wait. He was also the one that paid for the sub and owns Ocean Gate, which just happens to end, the last name ends on Gate. So now we have a scandal that we can't call a scandal because it is a scandal. Corrupt politicians, military bases all over the world, forcing the world to bend to our economic standards And we're seeing we're losing weight in that. Our dollar is, of course, losing value every day as more countries go off the US dollar standard. Adding more sanctions to Russia and China aren't going to do much at this point. We don't have the pull we used to have. Our dollar is what we sanction to trade in. And if people are trading, like Iran, still selling massive amounts of drones to Russia. Yeah, green lasers in Antarctica. We're blowing money on anything we want. Just got flagged for your comment. Oh, yeah. Facebook's being really stingy about bacon. He made a comment about the submarine. This is crazy, though. Look deeper into this stuff. Corruption is everywhere. U.S. drones, of course, now being given to India. India is not even an ally. They're not. Because they have disputes with China, though, we're trying to trick them into becoming one. India is part of BRICS. They're not going to believe BRICS. They're a BRICS nation. It is ridiculous. Meanwhile, we have crisis here in America with people losing their homes. Everything that's happening out there is just ridiculous. But people losing their homes because they can't afford to live there. Cost of living is skyrocketing still. Wages aren't going up at that rate. Oh no, but everything's okay. There's going to be a recession, which will slow the growth. Or slow price growth, at least. That's what we were told. It's not happening. It is sad. We're in a sad position in this world. And of course, next thing they do, is coming after guns, which they're trying to make a list right now. And it will happen eventually. No matter how much the Supreme Court fights it, no matter how much citizens fight it. It is a sad state of events. Yeah, real estate values are going up. Yeah, because we're missing 20 million homes. 20 million homes would need to be built in order for everybody to live comfortably in the house. 20 million. That's crazy. So when you're 20 million short of something, of course it becomes a not fun question of where do people live? Oh wait, but we're just giving up spots to immigrants or illegal immigrants, aliens, legal aliens. That's all they are. And hotels, we're paying for that. Our veterans are living on the streets, homeless. But yet we're making sure illegal migrants that come across the border are housed, fed, healthcare is taken care of. They're given an allowance to spend money. They don't have to go get a job. But wait, that's something else we changed. In order to get food stamps, now you have to be working or commit to so many work hours. That's only if you're a U.S. citizen. If you're a migrant or here on refugee status, it doesn't apply to you. No, that would be too easy, force people here to work and let people come here and not work. It's happening. It is sad. But that's the shape of our country right now. We look around, we know where we're heading. It's pretty obvious. World War II's around, or World War III's around the corner. That's not a question. Are you prepared? Are you ready? One of the biggest military exercises coming into the U.S. 27 states will be involved coming this summer. 27 states will be involved to try to trick U.S. citizens into helping them as insurgents into the United States. It's military, it's all tactical things. But that's the plan. So military is going to treat us like foreign enemies and like they're insurgents going into a foreign enemy status, and then try to manipulate the public to help them. I don't see a problem with that. We're not training our military to despise U.S. citizens and treat them like garbage. We're not brainwashing our enemy or our own military to be prepared to really follow orders that would have to follow through and end up hurting the United States. I mean, if they want to take us into martial law, they have to get the military in order to back them up. The only way to do that is to brainwash them, and that's what's happening. How many times do they have to go and do tactical events in cities and get trained in these cities in the United States to get used to manipulating U.S. citizens? Get ready. Something's happening. War is going to start. Major corrupt politicians are doing it to get money. Let's be honest. God bless you all. God bless America. Stay strong and be prepared. We were once the world's strongest military, the greatest might. But as we sit here today, we know that's no longer true. Yes, Dave. 27 states will be in this first event happening this summer. It's supposed to kick off here, I think, in the next couple of weeks, and it's not supposed to be public knowledge yet. But crazy as it sounds, it's happening. Be prepared. Be prepared. God bless you all. Of course, if you can afford to donate, please do. Definitely appreciate that. Hit that share button. And of course, like us and follow for more. We will be live tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Till then, be safe. Just be ready.